flags, beautiful African flags. I was watching Canada versus Nigeria in the women's basketball yesterday, and I was feeling like and actually it was Canada versus Nigeria that won, and actually it was USA versus Nigeria. Nigeria, it's just amazing. What about Kenyans? It's a whole other story about the athletic running and something. I don't know. Faith, are you here? Are you with us? So,
Oh,
as you've
Kevin, I'm not a football person.
Yeah, you're what?
I'm not a football person per se. I have no idea which team
Football, it
was
was
playing yesterday.
basketball. You should love these.
Basket?
Yes, it was basketball. You should love these.
Oh my
You know,
goodness.
I
I'm
should
not
tell you
sports
something.
person. Let me just say that today.
Let me tell you something. In high school, playing basketball was like should say it made you get so attractive, especially when you could see the fans jump onto and ready to support you. I even felt like I could play basketball, but height became an issue, and I could always feel like, no, I can't do this. But anyways, yes, here we are. How about you? So introduce. Let's get this show started.
For me, I would say when it comes to sports, I don't know. If you call walking sports, I would rather maybe go for a walking marathon. Okay, not a marathon per se, but if we are going for a walk, that is something I would engage in. But other than that, for me, what gets me high, to be honest, is music, music, and music. I know we are starting off with the nostalgia song, and you're so good with music, let me say, with the selection of music and nostalgia. That is the feeling I want to have today. How about the rest of our learners today? Do you want to feel nostalgic about today's session? And that is something you can do for yourself once you get into the feel, right? And so, yeah, for our host, as you can see, we've not introduced ourselves. So I'm gonna be your host, Faith Imba, joining in from Kenya. How about you? Get to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Kevin Tui, VA Community Ambassador. As you can see, I'm also a Gold Fellow. An awesome thing. I can say I live, eat, and breathe ALX. So just love to be here. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and so it's amazing to meet our fellow learners. I'm a learner myself in cohort 4, but here we are. So for today's session, we're going to have a check-in something we're going to share with you. Then we're going to have a check-in prompts. Quick check-in. We are going to have that, and then this session majorly is as we had shared with you, it's a platform onboarding session where we are going to walk you through our platforms, and this Savannah, and also the community portal, or where you are able to access your squads. And then we're also going to have a demo on how to access and complete our weekly deliverables. And so if you've already jumped onto the content for this week and you're like, oh goodness, where do I even start? How do I go about this? We're going to walk you through that. And then we'll have a Q&A session. So for this Q&A session, we'll be answering all the some questions that you've already posed on Slido. And if you have a burning question and you're like, oh my goodness, I want this answered live, a link is going to or has been dropped in the chat and has also been pinned on the YouTube chat. So you can access the Slido link and pose your question there. But if you see a similar question and you're like, okay, this has already been asked, kindly like it. It's gonna be the most voted questions are going to be answered live. And then afterwards, we're going to share our next steps, our announcements, and then close us off. So I hope you're all ready. So what are our rules of engagement? So the first thing we are requesting of us is that we stay attentive. I understand we have all this excitement, the chats, so much going on in the chats, the energy and all of that, we really, really appreciate. But once we start our demo, please be attentive. Be on the lookout, watch everything that we are showing, we are going to be demonstrating, and then so that you don't miss a thing. And then in as much as we're going to do the demos and whatnot, we want you to also come energized. We can see in the charts you're already energized, so keep the energy coming in there. And then if you have questions, as we have shared, please post them on Slido, not on YouTube chat. And then something else, what we advocate for is listen, learn, engage with each other, and most importantly, we're here to have fun. And so that's it for our rules of engagement. So on to the check-in prompt. I remember when we were growing up, we wanted to be, I don't know, doctors, teachers, pilots, and whatnot. This is just,
Yeah.
when I start thinking about growing up, to be honest, to some extent, I would say I myself, have I even grown up? Anyway, we are not talking about the height, but
Wait,
anyway.
you don't look like you've grown up already. You're still growing up. So you better not start giving us those grandma, grandpa vibes that you're going to give us some advices.
Oh please, oh please, oh please, Kevin. I want us to share in the chats when you wanted to grow up. Okay, not to grow up, but when we were kids, we thought of maybe being something or someone in the future, which I think we're already in. So, what is that one thing that you wanted to be when you grew up? What are people saying in the chats,
So Faith,
Kevin?
the chat is buzzing. I'm seeing mechanical engineer, pharmacist, finance officer, newscaster. I'm seeing teacher, air personnel. I don't know whether air personnel, air personnel is just a way of saying pilot in a very good way that you didn't want to get there. I'm seeing news reporter, lawyer, astronaut, banker, journalists, international speaker, food tester. Wow, food tester. Okay. Speech therapist. I'm seeing accountant. Okay, someone just said they wanted to be rich. They don't really care about they just wanted to be rich. Gynecologist, I'll not ask what that means. I don't know if it's neurologist or something. And I can see doctor, lawyer, medical doctor. I think the doctor is taking the day. Yeah, Sophie, what about you? I can see some very good titles here. If we could have decided all of those who are on the chat here, if they could have fulfilled that when they grow up, we could already be having a multi-million-dollar stream here.
It's interesting when I think did you read that somebody shared they want to be a food taster? Or
Yes, food tester, like
who
just
is a
testing food.
tester? Testing food. I'm really curious if this person really wanted to be testing food or just to have a bite of every food. I don't know. I'm just thinking. But and I've had
I'll
somebody
not
share they
talk
wanted
much.
to be I've
Yeah.
had somebody wanted to be an astronaut, and I would say that is something I wanted to be. I wouldn't say my entire life I wanted to be one, but I remember at some point when I was around 11 years of age, and then growing up around movies, because movies were always my to go to stuff. And so watching movies of people to space, I was mesmerized by that. That's whole, and I always
Mm-hmm.
felt like I want to go to space. I want to go, I don't know, to Mars. I don't know.
Wow.
I just wanted to be one of those people. And okay, today
Don't worry. Right now
I'm a
you're in your own space. Like you're now in your own kind of space, right? Right, Faith?
I am in my own space. This is my free space, and you can see I can even move around and enjoy my own. But how
Mhm.
about you, Kevin? I know people are sharing a whole lot of stuff. Did you want to
Wow,
be a
for
doctor, a
me,
pilot?
Faith, for me, I wanted to be a soldier. I just felt like how just to hold like those machine guns that have endless bullets and you can just move around. I could always love to see Chuck Norris back then, just go around and just finish off all the bad people. Then when I grew up and then I realized that you can be shot and when you die you can't come back. It's not like a game you're going to restart life. And then when I came also to realize that when you have to become a soldier, you have to go through some cadet stuff. You have to run some 30 laps. You have to be checked that you have all 32 teeth and you don't have a scar and should not have a specs like the one that I do have now. That is when I realized now this is not for me or something. But at least with the love of computers, I still am in the security kind of a space. So I just love cybersecurity. So at least I can say my love didn't die with me. I didn't have a full breakup, but at least I say I secure, but I'm not really kind of a soldier of sorts. So that is what I really wanted to be.
You are the soldier of the cloud, or this, I don't know. We are all in these spaces. I'm in my own space here. You have the cloud space. I know there are quite a number of learners as well who probably they wanted to be a soldier for whatever reason. For you, I don't know, watching Chuck Norris, and you had this belief that you could, but it's not as easy as that. I don't know if there's anybody who wanted to be a VA, but then again, here we are all trying to progress or tackle. Okay, so thank you everyone for sharing about what you wanted to be when you grew up. Here we are today wanting to be VAs. So next is gonna be we're going to have now the demos, and our Kevin is gonna walk us through how to navigate the portal, your squads, and also walk through on Savannah, and also how you can also submit your milestones and recap. Oh, sorry, your recap quizzes starting off with week 1. So over to you, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Faith, for this. And now we are actually getting to a point where the rubber meets the road. And I'll be definitely checking on our charts because it's very important for us to just get to align. So I'd like to just give me a 1 in the chat if you've been able to access either it's the Savannah or your ALX portal. Let's just get a 1. Just let's see how many people have been able to access their Savannah as well as maybe the ALX portal, just to get an idea. I can see, wow, the ones are buzzing, the ones are coming through. Okay, and if you haven't, for one reason or another, no worries, no strings attached, you can put a 2 because we are here to also learn and also hold each other's hands just to make sure that we are here together. So if you haven't, you can also get a 2. So as that comes up, and I can see the awesome numbers, I can see some 2s here and there, which makes a lot of sense. So let me share my screen, and I will share so that you get an idea of what it is. So I'll just share my second screen here. So the best and the first place to access your portal is member.theroom/ALX, right? So that is where you access the portal. And through the portal, you can also access Savannah. And the first thing that you got when you are getting onboarded is you're supposed to set up and put up your email on this portal. And then after that, you now get that point where you have to create your password. So if there's any one of us who has not been able to access the portal for one reason or another, you must have already gotten an email. And if not, you haven't gotten an email, please do check your spam or any other. And if you haven't even gotten it at all, we're still going to avail that link. And from there, you can put in your email. It's much better when you put in your email and then you can now create your password. So when you put in your email, you usually get a prompt that a link has been sent to your email address. And when you go to your email address, and you should use the same email address that you used to apply. So if you try to register on the portal using an email which you didn't use to apply for the program and got accepted into the program, it will not work. So let's get on to this. Let me create the password. So I've put in my email. There's an option to sign in with Google, whichever you use, but I usually recommend that you use the email option. So I'll create my password, and then you have to use a strong password. So I prefer suggesting a strong password here. No worries, I'll get a strong password, but you can see it doesn't meet the requirements. So I'll just use my own. Hopefully it's not, for security purposes, it should not be seen. So I will I will put my password. So I'll put my password. It's a good, secure, and then you click on next. So your password should have a combination of those requirements in the policy, and then you're in. So you should be able to update your personal details. You could check if it's not set. Make sure you can go to the profile section and you can update all these. Don't forget that you have to agree to the privacy policy, the code of conduct, and terms and conditions. The reason why you have to agree to this is because we want to make sure that this portal is a safe space for everyone. So very important, click on confirm. And then you can optionally, but we still recommend that you watch the welcome video from ALX. So you can watch the video, then enter your portal. So for my case, I'll just click on enter the portal. And as you can see, you're having different sections here. Let me just bring up my pen. Bring up my pen here. Let me just bring it up. Good. So just bringing up my pen there. So you have this top part. You have that. So you're seeing that part, although it's not selected from my pen. So you're having learning, community, professional profile, legacy points, and contact us. So learning, the learning tab is where you're going to be navigating so that you can access your learning content for the ALX Virtual Assistant program. Then the community is where you can now engage. That is where you can find your VA library, your squad portal, and such. So most of the time, after you update your professional profile, you can now navigate between learning and community depending on what you require. Sometimes the learning content will prompt you to do something on the squad portal. So you can come in and navigate to the community and access that. So that is basically it. So let me first of all look at the learning, the community first, then I'll go to the learning tab, where when you see this part written ALX Savannah, when you talk about Savannah, this is what we mean on the learning tab. But for the purposes of trying to remain here, let me just start with community. And I saw a number of questions coming through. Some of you saying that you don't know whether you are on the, or whether you have access to your squads or not. So you're going to be answering that in just a few seconds here. So as you can see, once you're here, you are being prompted, you can join many other different spaces, but on this side here, on the side panel, you should be able to see your squads. And I'll just quickly navigate to my other platform where you can see how the squads looks like. Let me just show you that. And it can come up here. And then, okay. So it's coming up on this. Let me just bring it up. So this is my portal. Yes, so let me just show you. Let me drag it to this screen. So as you can see, this is how you'll see, okay, let me just, don't know, it's maximizing. Yes, so it's up. So as you can see, this is the how you'll only see one. For my case, because I'm a community ambassador, I'm able to see the different squads. But for you, as you'll see it for your respective country, and you should be able to see that on this side, you should be able to access the VA library as well as your squad. So you can see I'm currently on VA Kenya 2, and I can even see Steph Nora, your awesome community ambassador, posted something here. So the VA library is your go-to space for all the different announcements from the community, where you can get to see what are the events that are coming up. And the beauty about all the different events that we hold, because they're running live on YouTube, you don't even ask for a recording. The link that you get both from your email as well as from the VA library still remain the same, and you can always come back and watch this. So that is why you can see, yeah, we had an announcement for what you're having right now. That is our office hours and the Savannah walkthrough, and you can see all the different aspects that I share. I welcome to the ALX VA program and all the guidelines that you need, as well as the brochure and requirements, as well as your program calendar. Your program calendar can help you so that you can, once you add it to your own Google Calendar, you get access to these events, and as long as they're already posted on the portal. So I'm getting a feed that you cannot see my screen properly. Let me just see if I can zoom it in. Is it clearer? Is it better? Okay, I've zoomed it in a bit. So if you're seeing it good in the screen, can I have a clear in the chat? Can I get a clear? Just tell me it's clear, 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 clear. I want to see that. Okay, I can see DN has already said clear now. Amazing, I can see that. Good, you're good, amazing. So that is your VA library, and when you see you'll only see your squad portal, and we encourage you to make sure that you have your interactions there as much as possible. The beauty about that is also you get an opportunity to engage with your peers, and at some point when you need a peer for you to do some peer learning and some peer tasks, it is easy to find them on your portal. So that is the community. Now we'll go back to the learning tab. So I'll just zoom out a bit. So let me just zoom out a bit so that I can get the learning tab. So it's coming up. Okay, I think it had gone too far. So let me just zoom out. So it's coming back. So I get the learning. So I'm going back. So the learning tab is where you are going to go to Savannah. And it's very easy when you do it from the ALX portal. So it's coming up. Let me go back. Should I use this? Okay, sure. I need to use the other side. So let me go back here. So you can see the learning community professional profile. So let me click on the learning tab. So as you can see, this is where you click on go to course. When you're on the learning tab and you see your Savannah access, when you click on go to course, you're able to now get navigated. And the beauty of using it from the ALX portal is you're automatically logged into your learner dashboard in Savannah. So once you're here, mine you'll see it because mine is on a test account. That is why you can see I'm already in week 7. I'm already on a very fast, but you're currently on week 1. So anytime you're seeing this part, when you're here, let me just navigate. You're having your home, you're having my planning, you're having projects and all these other areas. Your go-to spaces can be your my planning, which helps you to get a calendar of what is happening on that particular week and the topics, as well as your home area. So when you're at home, I can just click on this part that shows the week 7 link, and I'll just navigate back to week 1 so that I can show you what you're already having this week available to you. So once you're having here, this left navigation pane is your go-to space to navigate from one learning content module to another. For example, I can click on welcome, and we always recommend every week you get a review of or like a rundown of what is going to happen in the week that is provided by our learning content team, led by Prudence and Sarah and the whole team. So it's very important for you to look at this rundown because it helps you get an idea of what you're going to be learning even before you get into it. So you can come in, watch the video. Just note that there are these icons that have a plus sign. You need to always expand them so that you can be able to see what is on that is already within that like expansion tab. So always remember that. Don't forget to always have that, and it always appears even when you're doing your milestone submission, you might see them. Always do your best to make sure that you expand them. Anytime you finish one part of a learning content, at the bottom you might see next, or you can also see mark as complete. So for my case, because I've already completed that area, and you can see I already completed the second part of the module and the final part because of the part that is where you can be able to see that. But I'll navigate to a week that doesn't have a completion. Like, for example, I think from my week 4, I haven't done much. Week 4 can be your crazy. So you can see for the first part, for example, when I go to welcome to week 4, from this part, you can see, I see that icon mark as complete, but don't click it if you haven't done the rundown, if you haven't watched the video, if you haven't expanded the whatever is provided here. So always note that icon. Then I'll just show you an example of the last part. Every week, you're going to be having, apart from this week you're really having a quiz. Every week, you're going to be having a milestones to submit, as well as a weekly quiz to complete. The quiz is usually curated from all the questions that you've been getting from the learning modules. So we usually recommend highly that you go through the modules before jumping onto the quizzes, as well as your milestone submissions. So I'll just show you this recap quiz as an example of how you're supposed to navigate to it. So every time you see this quiz, you can click on start. I will not do this because I want to maintain the integrity of the questions, but always make sure that you look at the questions. They can be around 10 to 15 questions, then answer them to the best of your ability. Feel free to go back to the learning content if you're unsure of the answers, then come back and answer with surety. So that is very, very important for you to look at. So these are, so you want me to zoom in? Let me zoom in a bit. Okay. So I hope it's clearer. Yeah, it should be help everyone here who wants to see this. So that is how you do so you're going to get a quiz, and for the milestones that you're going to find, there's still an office hours for that. So I don't really need you not to go deep into it. But if we're getting any milestones, you'll always find that they're usually even there within the module. So by the time you're getting to the point of submission, you'll realize that you've done much of the work. So that is the week. That is how your week is. This week, you are just easing into the program. So just go through, get to understand the importance of community, get to know about the program, and then do your recap quiz. That's all that is required. Just note that all the quizzes and the milestones are usually due on Monday, 11:59 p.m. GMT, right, Faith? That should be the case. So that is, yes. Anything you want to add on that, Faith?
Because not really, just ensuring that they meet, meeting those deadlines are very, very crucial, very crucial.
Yeah, exactly. Faith can tell you. Faith, there's one day Faith told me, because Faith was also a learner in this program, says she decided to go last minute on one of the weeks, and she had it rough. So trust me, it's better to do them as early as possible so that you have an easy time, because at some milestones might require you to maybe do something beforehand. So very important to do that. And that's pretty much it in terms of the walkthrough. So again, my planning is a very important area on your Savannah, because it gives you a calendar view, a weekly view of the whole kind of what you're going through and what you're covering. And also you can easily jump to any module. You can just highlight it and click on open. I don't think I have for a previous, but I can see the last. So my planning is a very good area. You can look at it from a weekly perspective, from a daily perspective, or from a month. But that kind of a calendar from my planning really, really helps a lot. Then again, be always on the lookout on your dashboard. You'll always get your scores shown when you've completed your quizzes. You can also check under evaluation quizzes, and you'll be good to go. It might look overwhelming at first, but trust me, as you do it, as you are logging more and more and do it more frequently, you'll get a grasp of where you need to start. But as I've mentioned, the home is your go-to place, and you can always navigate to the week that you're supposed to be in from here. And don't forget to always mark every learning content that you've done as complete. Yes, and think that is pretty much in terms of the walkthrough. So that is your Savannah and also your ALX portal. Make sure that these two become your great friends over the next couple of weeks, over the next 8 weeks, and you're going to have a fantastic experience. And don't worry, because if you're having any challenges, we have different platforms to help you. And I'm sure Faith is going to highlight them, and you're going to see and you're going to get to your questions as they come through. So back to you, Faith, unless there's anything that you want me to still highlight here.
That was an amazing walkthrough, Kevin. I kind of felt like I was starting over again my onboarding because I'm a cohort 5 learner as well. And like you mentioned, deadlines are really crucial. And if you are one of those people who are like, I'm gonna, start my learning over the weekend, let me tell you, that should not be the case. Just dedicate 3 hours per day to just cover some modules every other day. And by the weekend, you can relax and await the next week's learning the content. I mean, but thank you so much, Kevin. I believe a number of us have really gotten an understanding of what is expected of them when it comes to Savannah and also the community portal. And so it's that time where we get to tackle a couple of questions that learners are asking so that we're able to support them efficiently. So one of the questions, Kevin, here is, Alana is like, oh, they already completed. Oh, there are people we have, I think, I don't know, 8 students here. They've already completed their week 1. They're done. So kudos to them. So so this learner is like, wondering,